Imagine a garden teeming with roses, each bloom more vibrant than the last, right in your backyard. Picture roses, the universal symbol of love and beauty, flourishing in a symphony of colors, from passionate reds to gentle pinks, and even regal whites. These flowers have been cherished across cultures, across time. Today we'll embark on a journey to uncover the secrets of cultivating these captivating blooms, regardless of your climate. Unlock the secrets to growing vibrant roses anywhere, and make your garden dreams come true. Climate plays a pivotal role in the success of your rose garden. It's the unseen hand that can either nourish your roses or leave them struggling to survive. But fear not, for every climate, there's a rose that can thrive. Whether you're in a dry desert, a tropical paradise, or a chilly tundra, there's a rose for you. To choose the right rose first, you need to understand your local climate. Find out your USDA hardiness zone, which is a standard that gardeners use to determine which plants are most likely to thrive in a particular location. This is based on the average minimum winter temperature, divided into 10-degree Fahrenheit increments. Next, consider your annual rainfall. Some roses, like the rugosa rose, can withstand drought, while others, such as the bourbon roses, prefer more water. Also, take into account the amount of sun your garden gets. Most roses need at least 6 hours of direct sunlight each day, but some varieties can tolerate partial shade. Don't forget the wind. If you live in a windy area, opt for sturdy shrub roses. They're resilient and can stand up to strong winds without breaking. Lastly, consider the humidity. While roses generally prefer a drier climate, there are varieties like the noisette roses that thrive in humid conditions. Remember, roses are resilient, and with the right variety, they can flourish in any climate. Selecting the right roses for your climate is the first step to a flourishing garden. A lush rose garden begins with the perfect soil. Let's dive right into it. The first step in preparing the soil is to test its pH level. Roses thrive in slightly acidic soil, with a pH of 6 to 6.5. You can use a home testing kit, or send a sample to a local extension service. If your soil is too acidic, you can add some garden lime to balance it out. If it's too alkaline, adding organic matter like compost or peat moss will do the trick. Now let's talk about soil composition. Ideal soil for roses is loamy, a balanced mixture of sand, silt, and clay. It should be well draining but able to retain enough moisture and nutrients for the roses to absorb. If your soil is heavy clay or sandy, don't worry. Adding organic matter such as compost or well-rotted manure can improve its texture and fertility significantly. So, you've got your soil ready. What's next? It's time to plant your rose bushes. The best time to do this is in early spring or fall, when the weather is cool but not freezing. That gives your roses a chance to establish their roots before they start to produce those stunning blooms. Start by digging a hole that's wide and deep enough to accommodate the root ball of your rose bush. Place the rose in the hole, making sure the bud union, that's the swollen part of the stem, is level with or slightly above the ground. Then backfill the hole with your prepared soil, firming it gently around the roots. Water thoroughly after planting and continue to do so regularly, especially in the first few weeks. Your roses need a good drink to help them settle in and start growing. And there you have it. With your roses planted in nutrient-rich soil, you're set for success. In the next segment, we'll talk about watering and fertilization techniques to keep your roses vibrant and healthy. Stay tuned. Proper watering and fertilization are the key to radiant roses. Now, watering isn't just about quenching your rose's thirst. It's a delicate balance of providing enough, but not too much. For most rose types, a deep soak once or twice a week is ample. The goal is to water the roots, not the leaves, as this can promote disease. On the other hand, overwatering can lead to root rot, an enemy to any rose bush. Monitor your roses, paying attention to their leaves. If they start to look a bit droopy or yellow, it might be a sign they're parched or drenched. Remember, each rose variety may have different watering requirements, so it's vital to know the needs of your particular roses. Let's shift our focus to fertilization. Roses are heavy feeders, and a well-fed rose is a happy rose. Use a balanced rose food or a general-purpose fertilizer that promotes blooming. The best time to fertilize is in the early spring when the leaf buds begin to swell. Then, continue fertilizing every 4 to 6 weeks through midsummer. But don't just stop at fertilizing. Roses also appreciate a good mulching. Mulch helps retain moisture, suppress weeds, and over time, as it breaks down, it will enrich your soil, providing an extra boost of nutrients. Remember, healthy roses are hydrated and well-fed roses. With proper watering and fertilization, you're on your way to growing vibrant roses in any climate. Pests and diseases need not be the end of your rose garden. When it comes to roses, there are a few common culprits we need to be wary of. Aphids, black spot, and powdery mildew, these are the usual suspects that can wreak havoc on your precious blooms. But fear not, nature has provided us solutions to these problems, and they come in the form of organic remedies. Aphids, tiny green pests that sap the life out of your roses, can be controlled with a simple solution of water and mild dish soap. Spray this mixture onto your roses, and you'll watch these pests lose their grip. Next we have the infamous black spot, a fungal disease that leaves unsightly dark patches on the leaves of your roses. To combat this, a homemade concoction of baking soda and water can be used. This mixture alters the pH on the leaf surface, making it inhospitable for the fungus. Last, but certainly not least, is powdery mildew. This disease leaves a white powdery substance on the leaves and buds of your roses. To fight this, a combination of milk and water can be used. The proteins in the milk react with sunlight to create a hostile environment for the mildew. Remember, prevention is always better than cure. Regular inspection and proper maintenance can go a long way in keeping these afflictions at bay. Armed with these pest and disease management tips, your roses will continue to flourish. Pruning is an art that stimulates your roses to bloom. And it's true, the simple act of trimming can do wonders for the health and beauty of your rose bushes. But how do you do it right? Firstly, it's about knowing when to prune. For most rose varieties, late winter or early spring is the best time, just as the buds start to swell. Then, it's about the technique. Use a pair of sharp bypass pruners and always make your cuts at a 45-degree angle, about a quarter inch above an outward-facing bud. This encourages the plant to grow outwards, creating an open center for better air circulation. And remember, don't be afraid to cut. Remove any dead or diseased wood, and thin out crowded areas to allow light and air in. It might seem drastic, but your roses will thank you. They'll come back stronger and healthier, with more blooms than ever. Pruning not only shapes your roses but also encourages more blooms. Winter can be a challenging time for your roses, but they can thrive with a little extra care. As the season's chill sets in, your roses are preparing for a period of dormancy. This is a natural cycle, allowing the roses to rest and recharge for the vibrant spring bloom. To protect your roses in colder climates, start by applying a thick layer of mulch around the base of each plant. This acts as an insulating blanket, keeping the roots warm and preventing them from freezing. Next, consider using a rose cone or protective cover, particularly for less hardy varieties. These create a microclimate that shields your roses from harsh winter winds and freezing temperatures. Water your roses well before the first hard freeze. Hydrated roses are better equipped to handle the cold than dry ones. Finally, resist the temptation to prune your roses in winter. Pruning encourages growth, which can be damaged by the cold. With proper winter care, your roses will emerge stronger and more vibrant in the spring. Growing vibrant roses in any climate is more than possible, it's within your reach. We've journeyed through the world of rose gardening, from understanding your climate to preparing your soil, watering, fertilizing, and even managing pests and diseases. We've pruned together, cared for our blooms, and learned how to protect our roses during the chill of winter. But this isn't the end. It's the beginning. A beginning of a journey where you'll watch your garden transform as roses of all shapes, sizes, and colors bloom vibrantly. And though each rose will be unique, they'll all share one thing in common: your love and care. So don't wait. Let your love for roses take root in your garden, regardless of the weather outside. It's time to unlock the secrets of growing vibrant roses anywhere and anytime. Start your rose gardening journey today and watch your garden transform. Subscribe for more gardening tips and tricks.